welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm excited about this one. We are here at the St. Tammany Regional Airport with Miss Leanne Smith, the owner of Gold Coast Skydiving. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
again, this is going to be exciting. We have this cool plane behind us. So yeah, I'm excited to hear about you and your business. So as you know, this show is a mission to showcase St. Tammany businesses and their owners and make a personal connection behind the business, who actually is running this business. So that's what we're going to do today. So to start off, Miss Leanne, if you could tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What's your hobbies?
Okay. Well, I am originally from Canton, Ohio, and I joined the military when I was 17, and I got stationed in Mississippi. So I was there for about 3 years, and then I decided to get out. I served 10 years in the Air Force.
Air Force. I was going to guess Air Force. Yep.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. I really did. However, I wanted to stay in the South. I love the people. I really do. It's so family oriented. And people are just so nice down here. The Southern hospitality.
Yep. They talk about it all the time. Yep.
Yes. So with that said, I didn't want to go anywhere else. So I decided after 10 years to get out of the service. Sometimes I wish that I would have stayed in and retired, but here we are.
Yep.
I have been skydiving now for 24 years.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for your service first.
Thank
yeah.
you.
As a fellow veteran, I definitely understand that is something that there's definitely an appreciation and a respect for people that serve our country. So thank you for your
Thank
service.
you.
Yep. What did you do in the Air Force?
I was in medical administration.
Okay.
So I worked in the hospital doing all different kinds of things. I worked in records. I worked in working with regulations and all kinds of different stuff. I got to go over to Korea, and I was in Hawaii for 3 years.
Not bad.
Oh my goodness gracious. I still miss Hawaii. I really do. But
it is beautiful. Yeah.
It really is. And it's a very slow way of life. However, the only thing that the skydiving wasn't so great there because it was so windy, but the scuba diving.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. You're out there in the Pacific and yeah.
Oh, it's hard to go from that type of scuba diving to the scuba diving here. So
yeah, you definitely get spoiled. Yeah.
Oh, it's so true. But so the way I got into skydiving, it was really crazy, actually. This is when phone books were around, the yellow pages, that were like that.
Yep.
And a bunch of friends, we were just hanging out, a bunch of friends. Let's see what we can do this weekend. And so the game was to flip the phone book and whatever
Let's
it
see what
opened.
happens.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that's how it all happened. And there was a large group of us. It was probably about 12 to 15 of us that decided to go skydiving. And the first day it rained, so we weren't able to jump on Saturday. And so we went on Sunday. We went back on Sunday. And out of everybody that jumped with our group, there were two of us ladies that decided to go back and learn how to skydive. And
how old are you at this time?
I was probably 23.
Okay. So yeah, still adventure
22.
spirit.
Oh, absolutely. But I made that first jump, and I knew as soon as I jumped, that was something I had to do again immediately. And same with the other young lady, she knew to, in fact, she went right back up.
Same
And
day.
yes, same
Wow.
day. I didn't have the money, so I couldn't do that. But I went back the next weekend. And so we both learned how to jump. And then when we were done at the end of the program, I continued on and she stopped. She never jumped again. So I never would have thought I would be here right
Right.
now. Gold Coast Skydivers was started back in 1993.
Okay.
That's the year I was graduating high school. So Mike Igo is the one who created Gold Coast Skydivers. And he's my late husband. He actually passed away in 2010 of lung cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, and he served in the Marines.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yes. And, but he had a passion for skydiving and he created a wonderful thing. It actually was opened, he opened in Moss Point, Mississippi.
Okay. Not far. Yeah.
Not far at all. And it was the only place to jump in Mississippi for many, many years. After Hurricane Katrina, we ended up relocating further north and we went to Lumberton, Mississippi. A lot of people have never heard of Lumberton, Mississippi. There's not much
Not
there.
much there. That's right.
And we flew a large aircraft, a Twin Otter, would hold 23 jumpers, and people come from all over to jump there. So that was a really nice skydive plane. However, as things progress, it's hard to find people that want to work. So, and to operate a plane of that size, you really have to have people that are willing to work.
Yeah. You've got to be ready to go. And yeah.
Yep. So I had that location and then I started this location in 2016 it was. So had both locations going, that location and this location. And then after a bunch of thinking and debating it with myself, I decided to close the Mississippi location.
Well, that had to be a lot busy, huh? And back and forth.
It was. And finding someone to fly a Twin Otter is very difficult because there's not many Twin Otters around. So closed that location and just focused on this location. It's closer for me to be, home in Slidell. I've lived in Slidell, well, since 2013.
Okay.
I was in Mobile before that.
So Ohio, joined the military, ended up in Hawaii, stationed in Hawaii,
Yes.
and started as a hobby, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like I did. I remember, I think it was the 30th or 35th birthday. My wife got me a birthday present, and it was to go skydiving. Unfortunately, it's the only time I've ever done it. But yeah. So, but I would imagine most people are like that. It's
Yes.
hey, this looks like fun. Let me go. And then you found something that you enjoyed and wanted to continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long between when you started that first jump did you get out of the military and then kind of
Do this.
start to do this? Yeah.
When I got stationed in Mississippi, that's how I met Mike, my husband. And then we got married. And little did we know he was going to pass away such a short time later. He handled all the business. Like I helped him, but he
ran it.
He ran it.
Okay.
And so many people respected him. He was just a man that if he gave you his word, that was that. It was
They
done.
say that about Marines.
Oh,
My dad was a
absolutely.
Marine, and it was, yeah, that's kind of one
Things
of the,
are,
yeah.
let me tell you, the hangers have to point a certain way and everything has to be
Yeah.
done, which is totally fine. You know, I found that's how you feel calm
Yep.
when
Yep.
when it's like
Interesting.
that. So, but when he passed away, I continued running things. So it kind of honestly fell in my lap. You know, I didn't want to close it. I mean, because I thought, well, what are you going to do? You know, so many people were depending on me.
Yeah, built a following, built a clientele. And,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. And that's what was hard. That was what was very difficult about closing the Mississippi location because we had established so many fun jumpers that really look forward to jumping. But at the same time, there was so much, it was difficult. It was really difficult to run that large of an operation on my own. And I would be driving to work and the stress, I was thinking, this is killing me. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not able to enjoy it. And so when I thought about it like that, I said, Mike wouldn't want me to feel that way. And so I finally, after a lot of talking through it, I came to that determination. And here we are. I'm still in it. I get to enjoy it. And I get to meet people skydiving for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
So many different reasons.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about everybody that comes here is excited.
Oh,
I mean, they are, this is going to be fun. This is not something well, I mean, you're not nothing against tire places, but you know, you're not coming in, I have a flat tire, please change it, hurry up. No, they're fun. This is fun.
yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes. Most people want to be here. The only people that don't typically want to be here are people that are surprised. Like sometimes it works out well, but sometimes I have one lady, she brought her boyfriend out. He wouldn't even get out of the car. He was not happy about his surprise. He did end up jumping though, but
Reluctantly though, huh?
yes, yes. So that was funny. Yeah, he wouldn't even get out of the car. I said, well,
It's not for everybody.
It isn't.
Yeah.
It really isn't. I mean, and you know, as soon as you make that first jump, I would love to do that again, or I'm one and done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that's a great story. I like hearing that. That this is something you got into, and then now you are operating a business where you can bring this joy to others. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you just a few questions, kind of just about the business.
Okay.
So if you had to describe the benefits of skydiving, just very short sentence, how would you do that? Why should somebody go skydiving?
It makes you feel alive. It makes you feel alive. Once you jump out of an airplane, you can do anything. Absolutely anything. Because it's a mental thing. First, you're caught up in the moment. You're living for that moment. And you're not thinking about anything else going on. Nothing else matters. You're just living for that moment. So, and for me, it makes me feel alive.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I relate that, and I'm sure you can relate to this. So in basic training for the military, I remember thinking, I used to think this all day, multiple days, just about every day. The only thing they can't do is stop the clock. Like, this is miserable. I don't enjoy this, but the days are progressing. And like you said, you get caught up in let me just focus on what I have to do. And when I went skydiving that one time, I remember that's kind of how I was. Not that it was not enjoyable, but you've got this adrenaline, you've got this kind of anxiety about you. I'm getting in this plane. I've never done this before. How does this work? And I'm going to jump out and trust, this
Yes.
guy that I'm strapped to do the right
Yes.
thing. But then when it's over, you look back and you're like, wow, that was incredible. I did that. And so to me, that's kind of how, when you say it makes you feel alive, that's exactly kind of how I felt when I did it. I was like, wow, and to do it again and again, I can imagine that just builds on that. Like, you build confidence,
Yes.
being able to face, if you have a fear of something, being able to face that and overcome it. So, wow, good answer.
Yeah.
I like that. When you guys started this business, either started or at any point through the operation of the business, and I think you may have already answered this, but kind of what was your biggest challenge? Whether it's operations, staff, finance, marketing.
Marketing is a challenge, absolutely, because it's always changing. Back in the day, it used to be put a commercial on TV, but people don't watch TV like that anymore. So you have to keep up with the times with regard to marketing. I would say, the best form of publicity we have is word of mouth. It's
Absolutely.
always word of mouth. And because once people hear what a wonderful time you had, they want to come out and experience it for themselves. So I would say that's the biggest thing. I would say another challenge is finding people to work that we're very close knit. Skydivers are it's a small community. It's not something you can just call up and say, hey, can I fill out an application, come work? So, and I like to keep people around that I enjoy being around, not just anybody. And we run a pretty tight, I say tight ship around here. People are clean. They're not under the influence of any drugs or alcohol, which is important to me.
Especially in this line of work.
It
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What is one lesson you've learned through being a business owner that you may could pass on to a startup company, somebody who wants to go into business for themselves?
Ooh, just one thing. My goodness.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. Well, there's seminars and courses you can take on that.
You really need to have a passion for it. You need to have a passion for it. Enjoy what you do. And you need to be as good as your word.
That very good point. Yep, very important.
Because finding that's very few and in between. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's easy to talk about how great you are, but then you go out
oh,
and perform, and it's a different story. Yeah,
yeah.
actions speak louder than words. Definitely. The next question I had was simple question. What is your secret to success? You run a successful operation here. So there's got to be something that you could maybe put your finger on and say, you know what, this is probably the key. I'm doing this right.
I believe it is to enjoy what you do. To enjoy what you do. Even on days when it feels like work, someone will show up and they'll make a jump, and you can tell that they are just touched. You have changed their entire outlook on life. You know, because people jump for so many different reasons. Some people are selling a birthday or an anniversary or a breakup or we've even had people come out for dates. You know, and
Well, that's a go for it all, huh? Hey, well, I'm taking you skydiving.
and depending how it all goes,
Right.
you know, how their reaction is, they either go on more dates or they don't.
I am not for that.
So, you know, I think that you just really need to be open.
Well, the old saying is, if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life, right?
It's true.
So, what is the oldest person you've ever had jump?
Not well. In Mississippi, it was a little bit different because we had a bigger airplane. And I want to say 97 or 98.
Oh, wow.
However, out of this plane, 94.
Wow.
94. Now, they were in excellent shape, and you would have never guessed that they were 94. But, and you know what they said when they got down? They said, I wish I would have done this when I was younger. I said, and I try to make them feel not so bad that they didn't do it when they were younger. I said, parachutes weren't the same as they are now. So,
You're better off now.
exactly. Back in the day, it was rounds and you couldn't steer them. So, they've come a long way.
Wow.
But that's what they say. I wish I would have done this when I was younger.
Well, there you go. Let's
Yeah.
do it early. Do
Yeah.
it. Yes. What is the youngest person that you've ever had?
So, in the state of Louisiana, you have to be 18.
Okay.
So, 18 or older. It used to be many years ago you could be 16 and sign a waiver, but the gear manufacturer actually, they said it has to be age of majority in the state that
Gotcha.
you're in. So, unfortunately, a parent can't sign for you to jump if you're underage. So,
Well, yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of teenagers that would probably love to do it if they could.
I get parents that call and say, my 8-year-old. And I'm thinking, 8 years old? Although our 2-year-old, he wants to jump. He's ready. He practices jumping off the sofa and says he's jumping. So, and he's so funny. He goes out and he's packing parachutes in the garage, you know. So he's just a mess.
So y'all have instilled that in him already.
Yes, we have. So I'm excited for when he's ready to jump.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
But I know I'll still be nervous.
Of course.
Yeah. I think it's because he has no fear whatsoever. And so that makes me nervous because he doesn't understand.
Yeah, there's a balance between courage and there's safety or courage and discipline. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so Mississippi location, and now you're just here. But I'd imagine you get customers from all over. What's some of the farthest reaches or locations that you've had people come and skydive with you?
You know, we get a lot of visitors to New Orleans because it's New Orleans, and people that are visiting New Orleans, they'll come. They're looking for fun stuff to do, and they'll come out and make a jump. So, I mean, typically, just on an average weekend, we get people from Lafayette. We've gotten people from Texas because of word of mouth, but they'll come from Mississippi, North Mississippi, Alabama. I've even had people not to skydive with us, but from Scotland. So they're looking for fun stuff to do while they're
here.
visiting New Orleans.
That's got to be interesting, meeting all those kind of people and different backgrounds, different countries, different experiences. Yeah.
We love it. We love it. And that's why the instructors do what they do because they enjoy meeting new people, and everybody has a story.
Right. Yep.
So,
Are most of your visitors newbies, or do you have kind of a regular repeat?
so most of our people are newbies. They've never jumped before. This is their first jump. Then we do get people that say every year on their birthday they'll come out.
Special
Or
event type?
special event. We had a young man, he'd come out, his mom would get him a gift certificate every year for Christmas. And he'd come out and make his jump in the summer once it was warm. But that was his Christmas gift. And the nice thing about skydiving, you're making a memory. It's not something that you're gonna wear or grow out of, or you're making a memory. And that's what I always tell my daughter. She's 10. I say the best gift you can give me is your time. I said, because time is valuable and you only have so much of it. I said, but spending time with me, doing something that, we can enjoy together. And I love to see parents come out with their kids and they'll jump, and you can tell the parent is not excited about it at all. But they're doing it because their kid wants to do it and they want to have that memory. I said, I just think that's amazing. Parents will do some of the craziest things with their kids just to,
Build that. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah. The older I get, I'm 48 years old now, the more experiences it seemed to, the things, that's great. When you're younger, you want the phone, you want the electronics, you want the car, but yeah, those experiences are really what stays with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna switch focus a little bit here and ask you about. So we talked about probably the best marketing advertising is word of mouth. Somebody that tells you about a business, a place, an experience, and that means much more than seeing it on TV.
Yes.
But so with that, a lot of that is from my experience, is networking. Whatever industry you're in, you want to stay up to date with others in that industry, and I'm sure you guys have people you work with the equipment, the plane itself, the gear that you use. So is there anything you do in that kind of industry networking that you'd like to talk about?
As far as the gear that we use for our skydiving, I mean, we use the absolute best. The gentleman that designed the gear, he actually invented tandem skydiving.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, Bill Booth. And he made it possible for us to do what we do. And the tandem jump is where you wear a harness that attaches at 4 connection points to the instructor. So you're actually, and it's also attached to the parachute system. So that's what permits you to jump out of the plane attached to the instructor.
Gotcha.
But that's what he created. We use his gear, and we have to follow certain rules and regulations. We have to sign paperwork saying that we will follow these rules and regulations.
Inspect it every so often and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, yes. And so as far as airplane, we have a wonderful mechanic, in Slidell, actually. And they work on the plane as if they're putting their own family in it, which to me says a lot. They're not going to just
Right. I mean,
willy-nilly it.
yeah.
So, and that's important because the people, although we're not blood related, they're my family. And I don't want to put them in something that, you know, there's far too much going on in the world for, especially lately. I'm not trying to cut corners.
I've always heard that in the aviation kind of field, safety, of course, is the number one priority at any time. And I mean, you even mentioned it. This guy is working on the plane like he's putting his family in it. And I imagine that's maybe, I don't know that they really think like that, but I think that's probably where a lot of people's anxiety comes from to get into this is, I'm putting my life in their hands. And it's the equipment, the aircraft, and the instructor.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the three kind of key components. And to hear that you guys are close like that, I mean, that means a lot. You all, know each other's family, I'm sure. You talk to each other outside of work, and that means a lot. Yeah, to have that confidence in your team. Yeah.
Yes.
What is a typical experience like for the person that shows up here for the first time?
So when they get here, we jump Saturdays and Sundays. It's by appointment. We do take walk-ins. However, sometimes, especially during the summer when it gets crazy busy, if you walk in, you may not get to jump till the end of the day. Because in this airplane, we take 2 instructors and 2 students up at one time. And figure about every 30 minutes is the turnaround time for the next load. So 30 to 40 minutes. They jump from 10,000 feet. So they'll have about 30 to 40 seconds of free fall.
Wow.
And then they'll deploy the parachute. The instructor will deploy the parachute. And then you're under the parachute for about 5 to 7 minutes. Some people love the free fall, and some people enjoy the parachute ride much better. Me, I enjoy the free fall a lot more than the parachute ride. I guess what's amazing, though, is when you're up there in the sky and you look around and there's nothing around you. It's very surreal. And then when you're under the parachute and you're looking around and you're just floating, you think, this is what a bird feels like. But so anyway, I got off on a tangent there. When they get here, they'll fill out some paperwork. It's a big long waiver. It's about 5 pages long. And then they have to watch the gear manufacturer requires that we show a short video. The video basically goes through the waiver and reiterates everything that they're signing. And then once they're done with the waiver, we'll have them go put their stuff up because some people wear jewelry and all kinds of stuff. You don't want to take anything up there that you don't want to part with.
Yeah.
Because
you're not going to find it if you drop it.
You're not going to find it. Yes. So even though the bling bling is beautiful, just leave it in the car. So we'll have them go put their stuff up, go to the restroom, do all that good stuff. A lot of times they'll have a few minutes to, sit and watch. And then when it's time, we'll have them put some jump pants on. We just do jump pants just because it's so hot here. Jump pants over their regular pants. It keeps their butt from getting dirty. Typically, we slide in on our butts. Sometimes, depending on the weather, we'll stand up. It just depends.
Either way, though, it's
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
It really doesn't matter. The biggest thing is being able to lift your feet up for the landing. But the biggest thing, like I said, is landing safely. Because I tell most people, I said, the most dangerous part of the skydive is the landing. I mean, that last few seconds, that's why it's important to be able to pick your feet up, because if you put your feet down before the instructor tells you to, then there's the potential to break something, you know.
Yeah, if you don't have if your legs are up, you're sliding. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. You don't want to have, with the landing, a lot of people say, oh, you hit hard. No, typically it's very soft, unless you would happen to hit a gust of wind or something. But again, we don't jump when it's super windy. It's not a good idea. So it needs to be a day just like today. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's 6-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
So they go up. So they do the video, kind of a little instruction, sign their waivers, put on the pants, and then get on the plane.
The instructor will, then I will, once they're all ready, we'll put them in a harness. Then their instructor will come over. They'll talk to them and train them. They'll adjust the harness to fit their body. So they make multiple adjustments. That usually takes, say, 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. So they're training while they're harnessing.
That's probably when a lot of them are like, all right, do I really want to do this? Now I'm thinking about it.
And you know, very rarely does someone get in the plane, get up there, and then change your mind. Very rarely. It does happen, but we do everything we can to get them out of the plane. But at the same time, we also don't want them to get out the plane and them be all over the
right.
place. So if they are adamant that they do not want to jump, then
Yeah, we don't want to force somebody.
no, nope. So, but typically, again, like I said, it doesn't happen very often. But
Well,
I
that
know.
probably lends to the instructor's personality, right? You got to be able to talk to people. And,
Yeah.
all right, I got you. This is what we're going to do. Give them good instructions and all that.
Well, so the instructor will train them on the ground before they get in the plane. Then once they get in the plane, because the plane ride is about, say, 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, that's not long at all.
It's not long. And they get to circle around over St. Tammany, and they'll go out even as far as Lake Pontchartrain and get to see Lake Pontchartrain.
Oh, I'm sure it's beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
oh, it is. And then the other nice thing, if they're getting pictures or video, the instructor's shooting pictures and videos, so that'll be there for them as well. But the instructor on the plane is talking to them. They'll go through the skydive again and kind of keep their mind, you know, elsewhere and not on the fact that they're getting ready to jump out of a plane. So they do a really good job. And so when they get here and they're filling out the paperwork and stuff, I'm interacting with them, and I'm trying to get a feel for them, because honest to goodness, all of our instructors, we have, 5 different instructors. They are all so different from each other. So different from each other. So I'm trying to feel out how the person is, their personality, and match them up with the appropriate instructor. And then sometimes people show up here and they've read on the website, oh, that's who I want to jump with. And they've already got it
They've
all
already
picked
decided.
out. Or they've had a friend jump and they jumped with a certain person and that's who they want to go
Yeah.
with. So, and then we've had people, we get all kinds of stuff. People who have jumped multiple times and they want to jump with a different
With everybody,
instructor.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you get the person who, it worked the last time. I want to stay with the same person. I don't
If it's
want to
not broken,
change.
don't fix it. Yep.
Exactly. So, I try my best to accommodate everybody. And typically it works out pretty good.
Cool. Tell me about this wall here.
Oh, isn't
Everybody
that
signs
awesome?
it when they.
So after you jump, you get to sign the wall, and you can see there's all kinds of stuff. Now, there's not much writing in that trailer over there. There's not a place you can find to sign. When we got to this airport, they didn't have a hangar for us. And so they allowed us to put a trailer and operate out of the trailer.
That's got to be frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah, like trying to.
We waited, let's see, we just got a hangar last year. We were on the waiting list since 2016 and we just
Wow.
got a hangar.
Well, this is nice.
Oh,
Yeah, this is really nice.
so nice. But yeah, everybody who jumps gets to sign the wall. I ask them not to put any curse words or else they get a sticker. I said, there's kids around here.
Right.
And then we have all of our people that work here. They're up there. Paul, who has decided he wanted to deface himself. So he did that to
Is that
himself.
the sideways guy? Yeah.
Yes, that's Paul. Paul and I actually moved here at the very same time. He relocated from Michigan. And so we've been here the same time. And he is just a dear friend to me, but he is a hot mess. But yeah, he's one of those, don't ask him his opinion unless you really want to hear it.
Guess he'll tell you, huh?
He will tell you. So,
Well, that's the kind of people it seems like you could trust more than others.
oh, absolutely.
People that just tell it like it is. Yeah.
And I think so. The Mikey, the one in the middle, he was our pilot. He was our pilot for a few years. He actually took another job, so he's not going to be back this season. We're starting our season actually March 8th. So
Okay.
next weekend we'll be back up and running. We typically don't jump January and February. Multiple reasons. It's cold. It's real cold. And the weather's very unstable. So we typically, I say, you know what? Give everybody the opportunity to do their whatever they need to do January and February. We come back, we hit it hard for the year, and then after Christmas we'll close down and everybody gets to do their thing. But Zach and Mindy, they're married, and Zach's a tandem instructor, and Mindy's one of our packers. And she actually got a job for NASA.
Wow, really?
She just got a job for NASA, so she's working for NASA.
And that's over there at Stennis?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Good for her.
And but Zach actually, when we were in Mississippi, he was our videographer. He videoed for us. And I said to him, Zach, why don't you get your tandem rating? You ever thought about it? And he is just a guy that you enjoy being around. He really is. He was in the Army. He served in the Army and was deployed overseas. But he's out now. And him and his wife actually decided to get a van and they traveled around
Oh, wow,
in their
really?
van for, I want to say, maybe 6 or 7 years.
No kids?
No kids, just dogs, just dogs. And Zach called me up last May, so May of last year, and he said, "Boss lady, what would you think if I came home?" I said, "Are you kidding me? I would love it." I said, "I hope this isn't a joke." And so they moved back. They bought a house, so I know it's for real. And but I mean, those guys. Oh, and the one that doesn't have a picture, he won't sit still long enough for me to get his picture, Josh. So
Well, sounds like a good crew there.
it really is. It really is. I look, was it last year? So no, it was August 2023. I went in after I had Parker, my 2-year-old. I went in, I was having some bleeding, and I went in and I had a colonoscopy. And they discovered I had a tumor,
Oh,
a 5 centimeter tumor.
oh, wow.
Yes. And I remember coming out of the procedure, and they called my husband back, and they told us. And so my husband has actually been running Gold Coast ever since for me while I was going through treatment. I did chemo, I did radiation. They went in and they removed part of that section. And so I'm a true advocate for colonoscopies.
Yeah, well, they start to do them earlier now.
They are at
Yeah,
45.
younger. Yep.
Yep.
So are you cleared up with all that or
I
still
am
going through?
cancer free right
Good
now.
job.
So they're, you never think it won't happen to me.
Right? Yeah.
Especially with I just had a baby. I've got so much going on. And when they said that, I was just like, of all cancers to have, that is not the one I would have chosen. It's been a big adjustment.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
It has. And I said, luckily, I'm in the job that I'm in because I can kid with these guys about this. When you jump out of planes, you're a crazy person anyways. So when you're kidding around and doing all kinds of stuff like this, it's I said, well, they said, how's your day going? I said, well, I didn't poop my pants today, so it's a good day. I said that one time, and then by the end of the night, I'm like, well, can't say that anymore. And it's just
Yeah, it's a good group to be around when you got stuff you're going through. If you can have a crew to joke around, yeah, it means a lot.
and they love me no matter what. They love me no matter what. They have seen me through some very difficult times in my life. I said, and again, even though we're not blood related, they have been with me more so than my blood related family, So,
Yeah, you build those relationships.
yep, yep. So, to say I love what I do is an understatement.
Well, cool.
I'm glad that you gave me this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we got some good conversation. I think this is good.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks again for sitting with me, talking with me, and spending your day with me. It means a lot. We've learned about you. We've learned about Gold Coast Skydivers, and yeah, thank you all for joining us. Hopefully, you get a chance to come out here and experience this with Miss Leanne and her crew here at Gold Coast, and we'll put a link to your website, Facebook. I'm sure you got all that stuff.
We do.
Down at the bottom here. And yeah, stay local.
Yes. Thank you.